Well, one of my favorite writers, Barbara Brown Taylor, writes, and she asks the question, what is saving your life right now? And I think that's even too broad a question, so let's bring it in. What is some small, the tiniest thing you can think of that you are grateful for? So it can be coffee, toothpaste. For me, it's that my parents got their second COVID vaccine. Probably that's a big one. But even smaller than that, maybe just our breath. So just take a moment, close your eyes if that helps, and just call to mind something very, very small, seemingly insignificant that you are grateful for. And then settle into a comfortable position, a seat or lying down, child's pose, whatever that is for you this morning. And allow your body to just arrive here in this moment. In this moment. This one moment. Not thinking about what came before or what will come after, just arriving here now. And so one way to kind of seal that practice is to come into the body. So bring yourself into awareness of one small part of your body, perhaps your feet or your hands. Just notice sensation in those areas or that area. And make any little adjustments to make yourself a little more comfortable. We'll be here for a couple of moments, finding some stillness. So take your shoulders and draw them up to your ears. And allow them to roll down and back. And find a comfortable spot for your hands, maybe on your legs, maybe palms up or palms down. Notice all the externals, the sounds. The sensation of the clothes against your skin. Your puppy snoring in the background. And bring your awareness to your breath, your normal breath, and just notice how it's really happening without any involvement. It just kind of happens on its own. Some gratitude there. And then notice how your spine is lined up. See if you can make it a little bit taller, allowing your heart to be a little bit brighter. And notice where your chin is in space if you're sitting up. Allow it to be parallel with the earth. And then here we are. Let's take our first conscious breath. Breathing in, nice full breath in through the nostrils. Filling up completely. And then releasing that air either way, through the mouth or the nostrils this first time. Just let it all go, completely empty. Again, invite in a deep breath. Filling up the belly and the ribs. Imagining every little part of the lungs getting full of this beautiful new breath. And then this time, release it through the nostrils, just feeling that sensation of the breath exiting the body. Take a couple more on your own, finding your own rhythm. Nice. So I just finished this fiction book that I've been trying to finish for months because I had it on audiobook and I was listening to it as I walked, and because I'm taking a class, I've been reading a lot of nonfiction. And this is a Sue Monk Kids book, the Book of Longings. And in the book, oh, so good. The main character, Anna, carries around this blessing bowl. And in the blessing bowl is a prayer that she wrote. And part of the prayer is, bless the largeness in me, even when I fear it. Bless the largeness in me, even when I fear it. And so that really points to our longings. But I think part of this practice is becoming so aware of the microscopic gratitudes that we have in our lives, the smallest details of our lives that we can find some gratitude for. That opens us up to the greater longings and makes us more present to them. So I thought we'd go there today. So when you're ready, remove any props that you have, and if wherever you are, place something under your knees so you'll be comfortable, and we'll come into a child's pose. So knees wide, big toes touching, forehead comes down to the floor, or if it doesn't quite reach the floor, a block. And if your hips don't quite descend back towards your heels this morning, just place a prop between your hips and your legs. And just allow yourself to get sort of small, reach your arms forward. So we'll get that stretch in the shoulders. And just pay attention to that lower back. So take it slow. You might rock from side to side as you get here. And if your knees are tweaky, you can always come to your back and hug your knees and you'll get the same stretch. Good. Let's take a full breath here and fill up the back body. So we were filling up the fronts of the lungs, or imagining that that air was filling up. Actually, it was going to the back body. We just were maybe not conscious of it. So let's be conscious of our back body filling up the lower back, the middle back, and then the upper back. Sending all that air into the tippy tops of the lungs, maybe all the way up to the tops of the shoulders. Good. Take one more breath in. And on your exhale, just walk your hands over, maybe even off your mat to the right. And take a breath here, stretching that left side body. And notice what happens to the left hip. See if you can send that left hip back to the heel. And if you decided that your knees are not going to allow you to be in this position and you're on your back, just rock from side to side. Take another breath in, and on your exhale, we'll lift up and walk our hands over to the left. Get that stretch on the right side. Lower your forehead if you can. Press that right hip back toward the right heel. Nice long stretch here. Good. Big breath in. And long breath out. Excellent. On your next breath in, we'll walk our hands forward. We'll come up to a table. Place your hands under your shoulders. And we'll take our right leg and take it out to the right. So the foot's going to be on the floor. And you can keep a little kickstand with your left leg if that gives you a little more stability, or let the top of the left foot rest on the mat. So we've got this gentle inner thigh stretch going here on the right side. The right toes are pointing forward. Good, here we go. So we're going to take our left hand, sweep it up, follow it with your gaze, inhale, all the things at once. And as you exhale, take that left hand and bring it underneath your right shoulder and come into a thread the needle. So a little awkward thread the needle. Maybe the right arm lifts on your inhale. Maybe you decide you want to take a half bind here, flipping your palm and taking the back of the right hand to your lower back. Good. Take a breath here. Always the option to come back to table and take this thread the needle the normal way. What is normal? Inhale, reach your right arm up, and exhale, right hand comes down to the mat. Press yourself up, and then inhale that left arm up. And so keep pressing that right foot into the floor, getting that nice inner thigh stretch on the right leg. And as you exhale, left hand comes down, right leg pulls back in. Sophie, shake it out. And we'll go to the other side. So left leg comes to the floor, toes pointing forward. Good. We'll inhale that inhale the right arm up to the sky, follow it with your gaze, and exhale, thread it on through. Let the right temple come all the way down if you're comfortable. Inhale the left arm up. Keep pressing into that left foot and decide if you want to take a half bind here. Breathing in and breathing out. You've got it. Inhale as you reach up with that left hand, and exhale to lower it to the floor. Inhale, the right arm lifts, follow it, and exhale, right hand comes down, left knee comes in, shake it out. Good. Let's take some gentle cat-cows here, dropping the belly on your inhale, finding that nice cow shape, and then exhale, rounding, drawing the belly into the spine, chin comes to the chest, cat pose. Inhale through your cow, and exhale through your cat. Good, take a few more. Working with your body, always making adjustments for your body. Good. Always using any props that you need. Excellent. And take one more, pressing the mat away, coming into that Halloween cat shape. And let your neck, the back of your neck, just stretch long, crown of the head pointing toward the floor. Good. And then come back to center. We'll bring our knees together. Again, if you're on your back, you know what to do. Let your hips sink back and let your hands come back towards the outsides of your feet, and we'll curl up in a tiny little seed pose. The seed of what? We do not know. Curling up in this tiny shape, finding your child's pose here, relaxing the shoulders. Take a full breath in here to fill up the back body, and a nice long exhalation. Good. And then we'll slowly release. Take your hands to either side of your shoulders. Come back up through your table and take your hands forward of where they were in your table. Tuck your toes, stretch your feet. Get that nice stretch in your toes. And then we'll inhale those hips high, coming into our inverted V shape, our downward facing dog. Embracing the down dog that is yours today. So maybe that means you bend one knee and then the other. Stretch out the hamstrings. Gazing back. A different perspective. And then find stillness. Let your heels descend toward the floor. Again, a nice soft back of the neck. Take a full breath in here, spreading the fingers nice and wide, distributing that weight so your wrists are not taking all the weight here. And then when you're ready, inhale, come up on your toes, look forward to between your hands and take a slow walk to the front of your mat. Let your feet land about hip width. And then find your forward fold. So might mean your knees are really generously bent to protect your lower back. You might take your arms and give yourself a big hug and come into a more of a compact forward fold. Or you might decide you're ready for a ragdoll and let your hands come to your elbows and just let your head just float toward the floor. So shaking it yes and no, relaxing the back of the neck. Take one more breath in. Another long exhalation. And on your inhale, we'll come up to our halfway lift. So notice what happens to your shoulders when you come up. Draw them back away from the ears. Find that Ardha Uttanasana, that flat table, that upside down L shape. And then as you're ready, exhale, release to the floor. Bend your knees, root your feet into the earth to rise. Inhale. As you rise up with a flourish, coming into your mountain pose, maybe take a moment here to look up towards your fingertips, wiggle them so that you can see them. And then bring your palms together and draw them down to your heart center. Let them just arrive here at heart center and then settle into mountain pose. This is one of our base poses in yoga. One of the ones that it seems simple, but actually if you pay attention, maybe close your eyes, you notice that you are actually making these minor little adjustments. The body is adjusting from side to side just to keep us stable here. When you're ready, take a big breath in, blink your eyes open, let your hands come down to your sides, palms face forward, and lift and spread your toes, and then recommit to this pose by pressing each toe into the earth. So noticing how the legs get engaged when we do that. The glutes get engaged, the belly tucks, the pelvis tucks, the shoulders relax down. All the things. When you're ready, inhale, reach up and look up. Let your palms touch, and then take a hold of that left wrist and exhale over to the right. Keep pressing in equally to both sides of the feet. We're getting long on this left side body, so breathe here. Notice how you get that expansion with every inhalation. And maybe the exhalation allows you to take a deeper expression of this shape. We'll take one more breath in, and then exhale as you come up to center and take a hold of the right wrist with your left hand. Lean to the left. And we'll do the same thing over here. So make the shape that works for your body. And as you're dragging this right arm forward, pay attention to that shoulder. Keep it plugged into the shoulder socket there. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. And exhale. Rise up, reach up, look up. And then take your goddess pose. So we're going to take our elbows out to the sides, palms face forward, and then squeeze the shoulder blades in toward one another. And see if you can look up. Always the option to look forward if that's too much on your neck or your balance. Good. Breathe in. And as you exhale, we're going to sink down into chair pose. Reach up with your arms and frame your ears. Draw those pinkies in together. Good. Breathing in here, sinking down a little bit more, getting into the strength of our legs, our core, appreciating every little part of ourselves that keep us here balanced and healthy. Good. Breathe in, bring your hands to your heart center, giving yourself sort of that central focus of our heart, and take your weight into your left foot, step your right foot back, and we'll come into a crescent lunge here. So reaching the arms up, drawing those pinkies together again, so that left ankle tracking over the left knee, tracking over the left ankle, and then pressing that right heel back. Breathe in and exhale it out. Nice. We're going to take our palms, flip them out, and then reach back behind us. See if you can clasp them. No worries if you can't. Draw your shoulder blades together, and we're going to bow humble warrior. So just coming forward as far as feels good. You might start to rock, you might start to wobble, that's okay. Maybe the head comes below the heart. Maybe it's just here in this halfway lift. See if you can lift your arms up a little bit more, stretch your shoulders, breathe here. Good. Exhale it out. Notice all the minor adjustments. Always, if you fall out, just come back. No biggie. It's only yoga. We'll take one more breath in, and then release your hands to frame the left foot. Take the right hand to the inside of the left foot, and inhale the left arm up, reaching up. Again, always the option to take that half bind. So flipping the palm and taking it to the sacrum. Good. Excellent work. Breathe in one more time. And as you breathe out, left hand comes down to frame the left foot. Step it on back. Come into your downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here. Enjoying our down dog. So maybe straightening your legs a little bit more. Maybe walking it out again. Whatever serves you this morning. Breathing in. And breathing out. Good. Take one more breath in. Lengthen the spine a little bit more. This is such a great stretch for the spine. So enjoy every little aspect of this stretch. Maybe the hips lift a little bit more. Maybe the heels press back toward the earth. Hamstrings saying good morning. When you're ready, inhale, look forward, come up on your toes. Decide if you want to bend your knees and maybe take a little hop, or just take a nice little walk to the front of your mat. We'll meet at the front of the mat. Good. Bring your hands, your peace fingers around your big toes. Bend your knees so your belly comes onto your thighs, and draw your elbows out. And find your forward fold here. Maybe straighten your legs a little bit more. Release the head to the floor, crown of the head, just relaxing the back of the neck. Take another breath in and lift up to your half table. And another breath out, release your hands to the mat. And then bend your knees, root to rise, reach up. With a flourish, take a hold of your right wrist with the left hand, lean to the left. Really good. Inhale. Press that right foot into the floor. Exhale. Inhale, reach up and look up. And exhale, take your left wrist with your right hand, lean to the right, look left. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, rise up, look up, take your goddess pose. Cactus if you're a guy and you prefer to be a cactus instead of a I'm sure Greg, who's out there, is perfectly happy to be a goddess for a moment. So draw your elbows out and draw your shoulder blades together, cactuses and goddesses, and sink down into your chair pose. Good job. Squeeze those shoulder blades a little bit more. Excellent. And then bring your hands to heart center. Let's step back with the left leg. Find your, I'm almost certain this is the right leg. Find your crescent lunge here. So reach up with your fingertips. Always the option to switch if you are on a different leg. Enjoy this crescent lunge. So send that heel back and line up that right knee with the right ankle so you're safe, and feel all the different parts that are making those minor adjustments. So little quivering maybe in the left leg, maybe a little right glute action here. All good. Good job. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Bring your hands down to frame your left foot. We'll sweep that right arm up. Take your twist on this side. Good. And take your right hand to your back. I know what we did. I know. I'm aware. We'll come back up and enjoy a humble warrior in just a moment. Right now, let's stay right where we are. That right shoulder opening up. Breathe in. And as you exhale, right hand comes to the floor. We'll rise back up. Yeah, gracefully. And then take your hands behind you. Clasp your hands the funky way. And we'll bow down, coming into our humble warrior on this side. So lifting up your arms. So we clasp our hands the funky way. Sometimes we say that, or cross our legs the funky way, just to give our brain that exercise it needs. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then slowly release. Your hands come to frame the right foot. Step the right leg back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Good. Press those heels back. Lift the hips. This could be our last dog of the day, so let's enjoy it. Breathe in. And breathe out. On your next breath in, we'll go ahead, lift the right leg high, and then step it on through. We'll rise up, coming into our crescent lunge again. Good. Let's get really big and open up to warrior two. So the left foot spins flat, and the right heel crosses that midline of the left foot as the left foot angles in just slightly. Good. Reach out. Take up space. Really take up space. Good. Send the fingertips out from your shoulders. Excellent. And on your inhale, flip your palms, straighten your right leg. Take a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Let's come into sky archer, leaning back. Good. Excellent. Breathe in and breathe out. On your next breath in, bring your arms back toward warrior two, but don't bend your right knee. Just take your right hand to the inside of this right leg. Left arm lifts, triangle pose. So maybe your gaze lifts up toward that left hand, reaching from your shoulder. Always the option of using a block here in the right hand. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. On your next breath in, I apologize, I'm facing the wrong way. Come back up, warrior two, and then sweep your arms up. Point your toes so they're facing forward. Let your palms touch. And then as you exhale, we'll come into a forward fold here. So hands come to the earth. If you're okay with your head below your heart, we're going to reach the head toward the earth. Check it yes and no. Excellent. While we're here, bend your right knee, walk your hands over to the right side. Inhale, coming up to your flat back. And on your exhale, come on back over to the left. Excellent. When you're ready, walk back over to the right. Spin your left foot so it's facing forward, right foot so it's facing forward. I lied. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Good job. Take a nice breath in and a full breath out. And then on that next breath, lift that left leg up high to the sky and exhale it, step forward, coming into your crescent pose here. So reaching your fingertips high to the sky, Left knee over the left ankle, you know. And on your exhale, spin that foot to flat. Right foot spins to flat. A little bit of an angle, left heel reaching toward the center of the right foot. So you've got that nice alignment. Reach out from your shoulders. Get really nice and tall, nice and large. reaching out, taking up space. That's what I mean. So that left knee might be wanting to move from side to side. Keep it lined up with that left ankle. Maybe even tracking a little more toward the left pinky toe if that is your inclination. Flip that left palm, inhale, reach up, take a hold of that left wrist with your right hand, sky archer. Keep that bend in the knee. And then straighten the knee. Good. Maybe keep a little micro bend in the knee. Release your hands. I know, sometimes things don't work out. Left hand comes down to the inside of that left leg, right arm lifts. We don't always have to do exactly the same thing, right? Triangle pose, reaching up with your right hand, left hand lowers down to the inside of the leg. Such a great stretch. Keep pressing into the right side of the right foot. You've got this. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, coming back to your warrior three. Reach out and touch. All right. When you're ready, we're going to straighten that leg. Point your toes so they're facing forward. Now I'm not rude. Take your hands behind your back. Come into that clasp, any clasp, funky or non-funky, and then press into your feet as you come forward into your forward fold here, lifting your arms overhead, keeping that firm foundation there with your feet by engaging your legs. On your next inhale, release your hands, and we'll take your hands over to the left, bend the left knee. Let's take a walk over to the left. And then as you're ready, walk on over to the right. Good. And then here we go. We're just going to take our hands, walk on over back to the front of the mat, spin your feet so they're facing forward, and then send your left foot back to meet your right. Let's see if we have time for this. Oh, yes, we do. Okay. So we're in a plank. You can always come down to your knees if you prefer to be in a traditional plank. Let's go. So we're going to roll over to our left side and come into a side plank. So here we are, balancing again. So the right foot can come in front, the right foot can go behind you. You can place a foot on the floor, bending the knee. Make it your own side plank. So we want to lift up high in this left oblique. Yeah. Maybe even take your arm overhead, lift a little bit higher. You've got this. Take one more breath. And on your exhale, come over to the right hand. Let's take this side plank on the left. Always options. If you feel like you're really strong today, lift that top leg. Come down to your knees. Make it your own. You can always take another bind here, half bind. We'll take one more breath here. We've got this. And on your exhalation, come back through your plank, down to your table, tops of the feet, lower to the floor. Lower your whole self all the way to the floor. Oh, wow. That feels so good. Sophie, shake it out. Make yourself a little pillow. And feel your heartbeat. Let your breath settle. Good. So much. So many shapes. Let's take one more breath in. And one more breath out. And then on your next inhalation, just bring that left knee up toward the left shoulder. And just come into sleeper pose. You can decide if you want to turn your head in the opposite direction. Give your neck a nice little stretch. Good. Breathing in slowly. Breathing out consciously. And your next breath, just let it go. And we'll take it to the other side. So right knee comes up toward that right shoulder. Maybe you turn your head in the opposite direction. Giving your hips a nice little stretch. Excellent. When you're ready, release that leg back down. We'll take the right arm out to the right. Let the palm face down. Turn your head to the left, so the right temple will come to the floor, and this left hand will come to the outside of the left shoulder. And we're just going to gently roll over toward the right. So this is an intense shoulder stretch. So if you have any shoulder injuries, modify as needed. And this left foot can come back behind you, or it can stay in front, or it can relax out to the side. So use your left hand to give you the stretch that you need. And we'll breathe here. You can also do the stretch in a doorway. Just placing one hand on the wall and then slowly turning your body in the opposite direction. The nice stretch for the chest and the shoulders. Counteracting slump asana that some of us are familiar with. Let's take one more breath in. And exhale, roll back to your belly. We'll bring that right hand in to the outside of the shoulder. Extend the left hand out to your T. Turn your gaze in the opposite direction. Use your right hand to turn your body, to press yourself in and find that stretch on the opposite side. So right hand is your lever here, your fulcrum. It's a tool. It's some kind of tool. Breathe in and breathe out. Focus on that left shoulder. Notice just the small changes you can make as you apply a little bit more pressure with this right hand. Good. Or a little less, as needed. Awesome. On your next breath, whatever it is, roll back to your belly, make a little pillow. Enjoy a little rest here. And we will soon be moving into some more passive stretches. Good. So the next passive stretch will be a Sphinx pose. So a little compression for the lower back. So draw those shoulders down away from the ears. Let your elbows come under your shoulders, palms face down here. Good. Breathe in, really shining your heart. Maybe close your eyes here. Notice what's happening in your lower back. So the more you come up, the more of a stretch you'll have on your lower back, the more of a back bend you will get. Find what is appropriate for your body this morning. So making those minor adjustments. Breathing in and breathing out. Nice. Let's take one more full breath in and a long exhalation. And then lower your way down to the mat and unceremoniously roll to your back and take my favorite, hug your knees into your chest. Good. We're going to release that left leg long, hug that right knee in, bring it over more towards your shoulder. And then bring it across more toward your opposite shoulder. Just notice how that right hip is feeling. Maybe move it a little bit more. And then we're going to come into a happy baby, half happy baby. So bend your knee, reach for the outside of that right foot. Draw the knee toward the right shoulder. And this left leg can just relax toward the floor. Good. Breathe in here. and let it go. Excellent. From here, we're going to externally rotate this knee and bring the inside of the right foot to the inside of the left leg. We're going to come into a tree pose here, half tree pose, supine tree pose. And so notice what's happening with this right leg. If you have a big gap between the floor and the knee, you might feel good about placing a block or a blanket underneath you. And just take your hands to your belly or your heart. We'll take a couple breaths here, filling up. Allow the breath to fill up so you can feel your breath moving in toward your hands as your belly expands. And then every exhalation, see if that hip can relax a little bit more. Again, if you have any injuries or hip, issues, just modify as needed. We'll take one more breath in and then take that right hand, gently coax that knee so it's forward and extend that right leg long. Maybe rotate that right ankle a little bit in both directions. And then hug the left knee into the chest. Take it over toward the left shoulder. And then gently draw it across towards your right shoulder. So just noticing, paying attention to this hip, noticing the difference perhaps between the right and the left. And then as you're ready, take it back to center, reach for the outside of this left foot and draw your knee towards your shoulder. Come into your half happy baby here. I like for all babies to be happy, not halfway, full out. Maybe a little smile, curls on your lips. Good. Hug that knee in a little bit closer. Maybe you've got a little more of a stretch here in you. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, release that foot. Take that right foot to the inside of the right leg. Got a nice little pop in my left hip there. And come into your tree pose on this side. So externally rotating. Take your hand to your heart or your belly. Let's take a few breaths here. Let each breath just allow this left hip to open. Excellent. On your next breath, just take that left hand, gently lift that leg so the knee is facing forward. Bring your right foot to meet your left so your feet are on the floor, heels are close to your hips. Press your hands into the floor. Let's take a bridge pose. Always the option to take a block and place it underneath your sacrum on whichever level feels right for you. And wherever you are, tuck your shoulders underneath, maybe even clasp your hands if you're not using a block. And let's take 3 breaths here. Nice. And when you're ready, remove your block and slowly lower yourself down to the floor. Take any last movements that would feel good. So knees hug in, rock from side to side, maybe legs up, or maybe a twist is in your future. Once you've satisfied yourself, reach your arms up, let your toes point, get really long. Find your largeness. And once you're here, let's take every muscle in the body and just flex it, tighten it. So make fists, maybe even make a face, engage your legs and your glutes and your abs. Get those arms really engaged and hold it. And then take a breath and hold your breath. And then release it all out. And we'll come into our Shavasana, taking a few moments to just rest here and appreciate every little nuance of what we've done in this practice. So let your legs come wide, let your feet open out. Let your arms rest out to the side, maybe tuck your shoulders. And let the back of your head support your neck, or maybe place a blanket beneath your neck. Make yourself comfortable here. Nothing to do. Just be. Begin to deepen your breath. Invite some small movements, wiggling fingers and toes, and turning your head from side to side. And as you're ready, roll to one side and just pause. Notice. Perhaps there's a difference between the beginning of the practice and the end of the practice here, what we've done. And then if you're ready, use the strength of your arms to press yourself up to a comfortable seat. And once you get there, just cross your legs in whatever way, the funky way or the non-funky way. And close your eyes and just tune into your body. Notice the small changes and the large changes. When you're ready, reach your arms out and get really large and let your palms touch. And then draw all the goodness down into your heart. Let your chin come down to your chest and take a moment to bow to your own presence. Taking a moment to bless that presence, that large presence. Sometimes we can fear that presence because it's powerful. It can have a powerful effect on the world. And today, may you have a powerful effect on the world with your peace and your love and your joy. Namaste.
Thanks, Connie. That was great.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Very nice. Thank you.
Have a good day, everybody.